And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. They're just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
Now Winston, he will keep it. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice game.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave it. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd and 1.
So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Back on the option.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because they only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down.
Jones hit and the ball's out. And the Jags grab it.
Winston's pass complete. Fumble on the play. Recovered by Jacksonville.
Minshew, 1st and 10. Flushed out right. And he's got the hook up here. Complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Laviska Shenault, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Just a great individual effort there to take that pop pass and scamper off into the end zone.
And that's why offenses love that play partner, because that gives them a chance to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers with a full head of steam behind them. It's often like a track relay. Legs 2, 3, and 4. That first guy steaming ahead, and he just hands it to you, and you get a chance to take off and go before you even get the baton.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will make it into the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball, got a full game ahead of him, hand it to him again, see if they can start to produce.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 32-yard line.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. A second broken tackle. And this is going to be a Bucs first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones.
Ronald Jones.
The numbers for Jones last week, 18 carries, 77 yards.
And partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. He's got Burton here. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. First down, Winston. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Josh Allen showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Another try after the first down sack. Winston to Evans on the slant. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 33. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
33-yard line.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
The ball carried by the wide receiver.
And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Now a first down carry by Jones. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And the ball carrier. It's a loss of 1.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8.
A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt.
And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
Buccaneers 3.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
24-yard line.
So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They've got the lead right now, and last week they were able to defeat the Atlanta Falcons here as they try to make it 2 victories in a row. Throwing on first down is Minshew. Wide open receiver complete. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And Winston lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
Recovered by Jackson.
Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are up.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Miles Jack working free that time to take him down.
A loss of 2.
On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. That's taken to the 25. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the 2nd quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
And he probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. Eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
And 10 yards to go.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Now Minshew on 1st and 10. The 20. That's once again complete to Chark. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
It'll be Minshew again. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds, right around the 7. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now fourth down. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando. Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my Apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. Jags football again. DJ Chark ready to rock and roll. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, Minshew to throw. And this one into the hands of DJ Chark. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun is Minshew. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Minshew sets to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. Again, Minshew looking to throw. The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to 4th down.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Now Minshew. And he'll go down. Brought down 20-yard line. Carlton Davis speeds in for the sack on the corner blitz.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Here's Minshew. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but I think the ball's out. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery. But on 4th down, a change of possession anyway. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. Looking at it from the defense's perspective, they could have really used the football to try to start eating into this deficit.
Yeah, because now possession's so crucial at this stage of the game. And when you've got an opportunity to hop on a turnover and you don't get it, you can feel the frustration all the way up here.
And the offense, they're living right now. Another bounce and break that goes their way. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 15. Working out of the gun, Winston. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
44-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
A very solid gain of 27. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. He's at the 50. The